such sights to show you.
You are all going to die tonight.
This is bad comedy.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Greetings, true believers. Welcome to once again another episode of How Your Gig is Showing. And with me tonight, the boss is back. Hide the porn, everyone. It's Cali.
The bitch is most certainly back.
Ooh, bloody hell.
As the top says, eternal, true evil never fucking dies. It just takes a vacation for a year and a bit.
That it does. So, yes, here we are again. I would have had a rhyme for you, but I didn't think of one, if I'm honest. Didn't do my homework.
Plus, he knows better than to fuck with the boss.
Yeah, pretty much. You know.
No,
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
I'm a butler. No, come on, stop that. Right.
Too early in the show,
Anyway.
1970s light entertainment references.
Made my day, that is. Anyway. So,
Go on.
shall we carry on with the episode while I stop being silly?
I think we should. And we're going to go straight over to the shout outs.
Yay.
Up first, we have the man, the myth, the beard.
Oh,
It is a legendary beard. I see the little picture in his icon every week, and I'm like, God
that
damn,
beard.
that's a Gandalfian beard.
It is that.
That's the full Gandalf. But it is, of course, the Ginger Ninja, Mr. JK himself. It says,
Ooh.
great video, both of you. What have I been watching? Misfits and Kingdom, and of course, X-Men 97.
I'm behind.
I love how they are going somewhat comic book accurate with these episodes. And these are the stories that I started reading the X-Men with. Yes, there are some differences, but only slight. I would really like to see them to continue with this. Would love to see some of the biggest moments and stories developed into. Definitely. I mean, I'm not super up on my X-Men comic book lore, but from what I've been seeing in episodes, and then obviously people have done videos and stuff about it online, like the comparisons, and I'm like, I can see it. I can see where they're pulling their inspiration from. It's not a direct adaptation. It's just that, oh, this would make a good idea if we brought it in as a storyline that we want to do.
Oh, my fucking God. Sorry, everyone. Busy trying to do a podcast and my cat's licking its arsehole.
I've always dealing with an arsehole or two.
Oh, aren't I just?
JK goes
Sorry.
on to say, Fallout, so freaking good. So freaking good. It is without question one of the best TV shows I have watched. And yes, I may be a little biased as a fan of the game. But Miss Violet, I do agree with you with your take on Maximus. He's the least enjoyable character, and as I described him to a friend, a poor man's John Boyega's Finn character. Do you know what? It wasn't until you said that line in that comment, I went, oh, that's who he reminds me of. It's the Wish.com version of Finn from Star Wars. You know, like looks and everything. It's like, this is what happens when you order a Star Wars figure from Wish. A lot of the time, he seemed to not know what he was doing, like he was lost. I don't know, just wasn't great. Yeah, that was kind of my view, and it was like, I'm not getting this character. Like, when there's these big emotional, dramatic moments, he's just kind of stood there like, oh, sorry, is it my line? Like it looks like it should have been an outtake. Like he looks bored to be there. So, and here we go.
Oh.
Mad Max, yeah, a typical Sunday in Australia. You would know. Goes on with laughing there. I love the entire franchise, with Beyond Thunderdome being my least favorite, and the three others tied at number one. They are all great. Never got into the game though. I don't know why. I may have to track it down. Yeah, I did. I had such. I'm going to go off a little tangent here about that bit of game.
Tangent alert.
Tangent alert, everyone. The bit of game footage that I had to capture for that was a pain in the backside. I tried, because there used to be a function on the PlayStation app on your mobile phone that if you had recordings saved on your PlayStation and your PlayStation linked to the app, you could download your video files to your phone. I know, because I've done this several times before, many, many years ago. They've taken that feature away. So I sat and recorded an hour and a half worth of footage to go through, because I picked some of like the exploration stuff and the driving around stuff, like later into the game when you get like the bigger, better upgrades and things like that. I recorded a shit ton, and it stuck on my PlayStation. The only way to do it would be to transfer it to a USB stick and then into my computer. What don't I have?
USB stick.
So I was like, right, the only way around this is I'm just going to put my phone on my coffee table, point it at my TV. Sorry, that's Facebook. Point it at my TV and kind of get it so that the screen filled as much of my phone screen as I could. Started playing, hit record on my phone, and then just let it run until I, got bored of playing.
Yeah.
And that's why I even put up on the video, sorry for the poor quality. I was recording from my phone of my TV screen. So it's not great video quality. So it doesn't really do the game justice. But if you've got a PS4 or an Xbox One, because it is technically now a last gen game, it's from 2015, go and track it down and give it a play. If you like open world exploration games where the whole point of the game is to go to the four corners of the map and explore every little area, it's got a good weighty combat system to it. I said this in the video last week. When you're punching people, the sound effects and the crunches that it makes make it feel like you're doing real damage to these guys.
Yeah.
So check it out if you've never played it. There we go. Right. Recast. Here we go. Here's our new feature we're trying to get off the fucking ground. We screwed up royally last week.
Right.
Recast Star Trek, the original series, but with modern actors. Not the 80s, but it's acceptable. Anything pre-80s, we'll accept it. If you want 80s...
Not the 80s.
Basically, it's not, that show's not from the 80s, but anyway. If you want 80s, the series V, not the remake, but recast with modern actors. Yes, V, that is the one that is quite famous for being kind of the stepping stone for Robert Englund to go into play Freddy Krueger.
I never watched it.
Right, okay, well then we'll do Star Trek because you've watched that. We know this.
Okay, modern actors, Star Trek. Here we go. Oh, okay, how about for Captain Kirk? Captain Kirk.
Is that his cousin?
Yes, he's very brief. Very brief and very good. But no, Captain Kirk. How about Chris Pine?
You mean like in that film that they did?
Yeah. How about Zachary Quinto for Sulu? Oh no. How about him for Spock?
That was Spock. You got it wrong there.
I did. Oh well, that.
Right. Okay. If we're going to do Star Trek, right, let's take this semi-seriously, right? I think if they were going to recast it at any point, like if a remake had happened earlier, we'll go 80s kind of theme with this. I can honestly see that Kirk would have probably been played by someone like Mel Gibson. Let's face it, in the 80s, everybody wanted to see his backside. Every woman on the planet had a thing for Mel Gibson back in the 80s. So, popularity.
You can't have asses in Star Trek.
Why not? Shut up.
Yes, you can't.
Facebook.
You can't have asses. It's not allowed.
I personally think that due to his popularity, if Star Trek had been remade in the 80s, like remaking the original series, I honestly think that Mel Gibson, due to his popularity with the female crowd, would have got. I mean, Chris Pine in the new
when's
one.
Kirk going to get his ass out?
What? I mean, the guy basically invented space herpes. His ass is going to pop out at some freaking point.
Oh,
on
what's
an
he going to
alien
do?
planet.
Moon the Klingons? Take that, you bastards.
Well, he did it in Braveheart.
Yeah.
So go on then, right? Who would you pick as a 1980s Kirk?
Oh, blimey. That is hard, actually. I don't know. Someone off Saturday Night Live or something like that. Just trying to break into Chevy Chase. Oh, Chevy Chase is Captain Kirk.
You know what? From his portrayal of Clark Griswold in the National Lampoon's vacation films, I honestly think he would be a brilliant Captain Kirk because you'd be waiting for that moment towards the end where he just snaps and goes on one of his rants. You'd just be expecting it.
Hey, look, crew, Alpha Centauri.
Well, then, if you're going to cast Chevy Chase as Captain Kirk, then that means Spock has to be Randy Quaid.
Or Dan Aykroyd. Guessing it is on him. Get his eyebrows up.
John Belushi or Jim.
Well, it would depend on what part in the 80s it was.
Animal House era.
Oh, right. Well, that was 70s, dear.
Late 70s, early 80s, then. We'll still count it. We'll still count it.
All right. John Belushi can be
Zulu.
Zulu. You mean Sulu?
Zulu.
Zulus. Where's some? Shoot, you see the whites of their eyes. Fucking hell.
Sid James the Scotty.
Oh, blimey. She can't attack much more than this. Go, blimey.
Oh, we're being rammed, Captain. Oh.
There's Klingons on my starboard bow.
Hey, Kirk, you've got Klingons near Uranus. Did you know that?
Oh, not unless they're near yours. No. Etc.
Whoopi Goldberg as Uhura.
No, you can't do that.
Why not?
Because she was in fucking Next Gen.
It's an alternate timeline. And
Don't
Next
cross the
Gen does not
streams.
exist. Next Gen does not exist. This is no Next Gen. They just rebooted it and Whoopi Goldberg got cast as Uhura. There you go. Because I think from the jump.
Oh, right, because she's the only black actress ever.
No. She was big in the 80s, Jumping Jack Flash. She was perfect, serious comedy in that film, and I think
What's that? What's that?
That's dissolving into the next comment. We're done with the recasting of Star Trek.
There you go, JK.
There you go. There's a few of our picks if they were going to redo Star Trek in the 80s.
There you go. Oh, my light is really bright. Oh. There we go.
Moving on to the next comment then. From the wonderful, beautiful Sue. We have loved it. Sorry, I watched it. I just forgot to like and comment. I do. This is the look of disapproval. And Guy, and Guy, thanks for the song. That's a different version.
It's a very different version. They're all different versions.
Love this one. Keep it up. See you both on the next one. Yes, you will.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
You quite finished?
Nothing you can do that can't be done. Sorry.
Moving swiftly on with the final comment.
Before we get copyright.
With the final comment of the week, we have Jimmy the Chatterbox. Often
Hey, Jimmy.
It says here, hello. Sorry, tech issues have caused comments not to post. Yes, you did mention this in the gaming group. You did comment on last week's episode. I double checked to see if it maybe had gone into the held for review because for some reason I've had comments go in there that have had nothing offensive in them, and I'm like, why is this held for review? But I checked, there was nothing there. So yeah, tech issues. You have been
Fuck that.
commenting, they've just not come through.
We're Generation X. We don't get offended by none.
So my credentials, yes, you got called up on your geek.
Yes.
I have them. However, they are overdue an update.
Dog at them.
With that, I'm now up to date with X-Men 97 and the boys. See, poke the bear with a stick, it'll move in the right fucking direction. I'm about to start Fallout Gen V and have several potentials to fill a third slot. So watch this space. I won't be following Star Trek Discovery. The less said on this matter, the better. Potential rant there. Right, well, we're not doing a Star Trek episode anytime soon then. And if we do, we're not inviting you.
Shit, why the only one who likes Star Trek Discovery?
I think so, hon. I think you must be the tiny minority of that one.
Well, fucking damn me.
Looking forward to Strange New Worlds and working out a catch up for Lower Decks. I did watch an episode of Lower Decks and it just reminded me way too much of Futurama and I just could not get into it.
I've not watched it for that reason, to be honest.
It is very, very Futurama comedy. Like it's got a lot of those same like, oh, it's wacky and it's funny because it's the future. Like it's got very much that kind of feel to it, and that just you can't copy Futurama. Futurama was its own thing. That may be a future episode.
I've not seen enough episodes to be able to.
I've watched the first 4 seasons, but once they started doing the films, kind of lost. I kind of patted off with it for a bit. Anyway, love Mad Max. Seen the first 3. I feel 1 is better. Yeah, 1 and 2 they're I said in the episode for me 1 and 2 are interchangeable. I love them both just as much as each other, but for me, 2 has the action, 1 has the story. So it depends what mood I'm in. If I want a good story, the first one. If I just want to switch my brain off and enjoy the carnage, the second one. Which, you know, there is references to that in the game. Keep pushing that fucking game. Fury Road just upped itself on my watch list and Dread. Still not impressed you've not seen Dread. Assuming schedule can be arranged. Great episode again. See you again soon. Update Transformers. ... I wish I could go back to thinking it doesn't exist. That is all. That you heard our thoughts on Transformers 1.
Don't make me go there again, folks.
No, we don't want to go there. We discussed this before the episode last week and after the episode last week.
Yes, we did.
We were dogs with a bone on that one. We were not letting that shit drop. Although, funny mentioning Transformers news, guy, that Robo-Send Megatron that was just announced. Do you know what caught my eye? Because I was like, wait a minute, did it? The chest plate, Decepticon logo, if you watch the transformation closely enough, as it's about to pop up, it spins round because the chest plate is upside down when it's in tank mode. But the Decepticon symbol's up the right way. And if you watch it closely, it spins round, but you look at it and it's seamless. And I'm like, how does it do that? Not the whole chest plate, it's just the logo that spins. And I'm like, I want one of these. The more I see about it, the more I want one. But
yeah, I've deliberately not looked at the price.
Well, the Optimus Prime they brought out was £800. I can figure this one is probably going to be much the same, if not slightly more.
Holy shit, will you not talk that way? She's listening.
Maybe when the life insurance comes in.
Well, hers or mine.
But that is it for the shouty outs. Moving on quickly, Guy. What is the next segment we are going to tackle on this show?
Well, ever since the dawn of the time, or at least ever since Flat Trousers, people have been saying, "What have you been watching, mate?"
Well, this week I have mostly been watching X-Men 97,
Nice.
Supernatural.
Nice.
And that is literally all I've been watching because between life and working on my books, I've had very, very little time to sit in front of the TV and watch anything. I mean, Tony's episode for this week, I had to watch it in 2 chunks because I was just so pressed for time. I had to watch the first half of it, the bit where he takes his break. I watched up to there. I was like, right, I'll watch the rest later. And that was when I sat and did all my comments. I did comment, Tony. Much love to you, Tony. I did comment. It's on the video. But yeah, I've been that pressed for time that sitting down and watching anything outside of Stranger Things and X-Men 97, it's just... Anyway, go on then. Your turn, Dan.
You mean Supernatural?
What did I say?
Stranger Things?
Supernatural, yes.
I'm fucking obsessed with the Stranger Things, you are.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not thinking straight today. I do apologize.
Well, must be all that love. Oh, must be all that love.
I'm not saying anything.
Anywho, I'm a little behind. This week I mostly watched Supernatural. Yes. Folks, you can see why we're doing this. You can see where it's leading to.
It's an epic to get through, really.
Holy shit, I've dribbled. Oh, fuck. Well, probably won't be the last. Anywho, yeah. So yeah, Supernatural. Been watching that. Usually I would have watched X-Men 97 and Bad Batch this morning.
But you didn't.
No, I decided to sleep till 11 o'clock in the morning.
I slept till nearly lunchtime today as well. So
I was getting to that bit. I also been watching. Well, we have been watching. Thank You and Good Night, the Bon Jovi documentary on the Disney.
Oh, I didn't. I might have to check that out. I didn't.
That's good.
Outside of X-Men, I've not really looked at much on Disney Plus recently because Marvel fatigue.
Well, yeah, but there is other things than Marvel.
I know, but every time I log into my Disney Plus, it rams the Marvel stuff in my face, and I'm like, X-Men 97, leave me alone. I just want to watch this. But we won't do spoilers on X-Men 97 this week, then.
Well, no, because I've not seen it.
But
So,
oh, one thing I will say about X-Men 97, though, is last week you... No. It's not about the show. It's not about the show.
Oh.
Last week you asked me how many episodes this series run was, and I said that I wasn't sure, but I thought that it was 10. I did double check. I just forgot to put it on the video. I did double check. It is a 10-episode season run. So as of the time of recording of this episode, we've got 2 more episodes to go.
10?
Yeah. It's a 10-episode run. We're at 2 more.
That's it?
Well, it does say, this is the thing that kind of caught my attention. There was a big sticker thing on the official website, and it's got a list of the episode names, and then it says Season 1. Now, normally, when it's just a one and done, it doesn't say Season 1. So this makes me go, does that mean Season 2 is already being worked on?
What?
Or,
needs to it.
Or because it took so long for it to come out, and this is just my own personal theory, this is not from anything I've seen online, this is my thoughts on it. I think because it took them so long from announcement to release, I'm thinking that maybe they filmed more than 10 episodes, but they decided to split it and do, this is season 1, this is season 2. Because if you go back to the original season, the original series, each season was only 13 to 14 episodes long.
Still better than 10, though, isn't it?
Still better than 10, but as we said before,
A
modern
higher
show.
number. Higher number.
Well, you look at Stranger Things. That's a 9 episode season.
Yeah.
By today's standards, it's pretty much on par.
Yeah. Higher than a 10. Higher than a 10. Good game, good game.
He's being possessed by Brucey again.
Don't you start that or I'll slit your throat. Oh, fucking hell. Dark Force, Brucey. Dark Force.
Is that how he blagged his way onto Dancing with the Stars?
That's it, you see, yeah.
Do you know who I am? I'm Bruce bloody Forsyth. He went a bit Michael Caine there. Oh no, it's Bruce Forsyth. Not many people.
Yeah. Let me on the show or I'm going to tell you about the rest of the pedos.
Oh no, now I've just got it in my head. Bruce Forsyth going, you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. Good game, good game.
Good game, good game. Blow the doors off.
Good bomb, good explosion, good explosion. Oh, yes.
Oh, blow the doors off. Blow the doors off, I did.
Right. Back to what we were doing. I'm hoping, yes, my theory, I hope my theory pans out and that they've recorded a big bunch of episodes and they've just broken it up into not smaller chunks, but 10 episodes for a modern season, for a modern show. It's not too bad. I'd like more like the original show because I double checked it. Each season is like 13 episodes, 10 episodes, 14 episodes. And I'm like, see, it's kind of on average, but. And if you also go, that was the point I was trying to make. If you go back to the original series, between seasons, they did like to leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. And with the way the storyline is currently going, no spoilers, the way it's currently going, I've got a feeling that these 2 episodes at the end, the final one is going to end on a freaking cliffhanger. I've got a feeling of it.
Probably. Bastards.
So, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. So
we will.
So is that it for what you've been watching?
It is. That is it. Right. It is time for the meat and the potatoes of the bloody episode. So we have been talking about Marvel fatigue. So let's go away from Marvel fatigue and go to Marvel goodness.
Yes. Back before they were under the House of Mouse.
We're going to talk about Marvel cartoons.
From the decades of the past up to not kind of modern, but close enough.
There's no modern ones on Mars.
Well, I've got like
You
I've got one that's kind of modern.
know,
It's over 10 years old though, so it depends.
Nice.
It depends on your definition.
Oh right, okay. I may have that. Here we go then, folks. This is where we play. We fucking chose each other's.
Yeah, I mean this for me, when I mentioned it to you earlier, Guy, it was more a case of like we're more than likely going to pick mostly the same. If we both got 10 or around 10, it doesn't matter if some of them overlap because some of them might not. But either way, we're going to talk about them and see what happens.
Do you want to go first?
I was going to say me first or you first, but I'll go first.
Go on. Tip before shovel.
One of the earliest Marvel cartoons that I can remember seeing. Well, my first choice and my second choice kind of are the same situation. So, but anyway, I remember being maybe 6 or 7 years old, having access to Sky TV, getting up early in the morning for school. Sky One would have their breakfast hour between 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And I would sit there eating my cereal and enjoying a wonderful Marvel cartoon called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Bitch.
I'm guessing that was one of yours. This show premiered on the 12th of September, 1981 and finished airing on November 5th, 1983.
It did.
And it was Spider-Man, Iceman, and I want to say Firestar. That was it. I was going to say Starfire, but that's DC. It was a long time ago. I've not seen it since I first watched it back in the day. So
no, I watched an episode today. So
I know it's on Disney Plus, but I've not got around to watching it yet.
And you're a fool.
Yeah, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends was actually one of the earliest Marvel cartoons that I watched. It got me into Spider-Man. Okay, by today's modern lens, it is campy as all hell.
Makes it wonderful.
Exactly. I mean, the computers that flip round from their college room dorm has these hidden computers. How did none of the other students know about this?
Because they didn't live in college. They lived at Aunt May's house.
I thought they were in college.
No, yeah, they were going to ESU, but
But
they lodged at Aunt May's.
that was the bit I got confused on. I do apologize.
Ah, you see where the
It's been a long time since I watched it. But yeah, I loved it for some of its campiness, and it was the animation for its time was also kind of was on point.
no, I was going to say the anime for its time.
Yeah,
Great, I mean.
although I think we can both agree that freaking dog,
Miss Lion.
freaking dog.
Yeah, but it was the 80s. You had to have a little.
Put it in the same shopping cart as Scrappy Doo and launch the pair into the river. All I'm saying.
Yeah, the thing was they were trying to sort of do Super Friends that ABC had, and
Yeah.
there's little animal characters on that. So
I think that was the little animal characters in shows back then. That was for the kid audience. That was for the the under fives. Kind of oh, that's a cute animal, la 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 la, like Grogu. I just spanked the Star Wars fans. Do-da, do-da. Do I give a flying fuck? Do I fucking care?
That's now going to be sticking in your head, Tom. There you go.
But
Cheers.
yeah,
Sleep tight.
that's my first choice, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. And they
And mine.
Hasbro have actually released a box set of Spider-Man, Iceman, and all of it. You get the little dog. You get them all. Firestar. You get them all. The cool thing about the Firestar figure, though, is you get two different heads, and it's for the comic book look and the TV show look. Because in the comic books, it was a very different.
Yeah.
Her hair was different, and her mask was different. And they've done the two different portraits to reflect that. So if you can track them down.
Would you like some of Uncle JB's trivia?
Go on, then. Let's have some JB trivia. Apart from the fact that Stanley was the narrator, because everybody knows that.
No, who fucking knows that. No, it was originally not going to be Firestar. It was originally going to be the Human Torch, but they couldn't get the fucking rights. There was licensing issues.
Oh, yes.
So Firestar was invented for the show.
Yes, much like Harley Quinn, invented for the show and then adapted into the comic books later on down the line. But yeah, that's very true.
Funny enough, it's funny, isn't it? Angelica Jones, aka Firestar, looked amazingly like MJ.
Little bit, wasn't it?
Funny there.
Mind ponders.
So that's your first choice and mine. So it's you again.
Straight on to my second choice then, and I lumped this one in with Spidey and His Amazing Friends because it followed straight on after it when I used to watch the TV in the morning, and that is the Incredible Hulk series that ran from September.
Oh, you fucking bitch again.
Ran from September 18th, 1982 to October 8th, 1983. And again, I only really watched this one because it was straight on after Spider-Man. I was getting ready to go to school. So it was there. I was watching it.
You want to do a bloody show on your own? I'll just bugger off, shall I?
I've got a feeling that the next one's going to be one of yours as well.
Comes back, steals me flipping thunder all over the place.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'll do. Though. For my next one, I'll jump to the bottom of my list and work my way back up. How about that?
Well, it says in a year and a half, bloody later. No.
Go on then, guys. I'll tell you what.
Go home. Oh,
I brought it up. I brought it up. You can tell us about the show. Go on. You can tell us about the Incredible Hulk from the 80s.
No, I refuse. No, I'm not being treated like this. No.
Who the fuck are you?
I went to RADA. I went to RADA.
Who the fuck are you, Ollie Reed? I mean, you drink like him, but
Fucking upstage like this. I tell you, very drunk.
and
Anyway,
joining me on this week's episode is Orson Welles.
um, so yeah, okay, 80s Hulk. Again, campy as all hell. You know the story of the Hulk, folks. Let's
Oh
face it.
yeah, you know, Dr. Banner
Um,
gets irradiated, turns green, goes, "Urgh, I smash.
yeah, that's the one.
More
You know it.
dramatic than that though.
But you know, a lot of the time saves everyone at Gamma Base, even though Thunderbolt Ross hates it
Mm.
and wants to, of course, get the Hulk and kill him, not realizing it's Bruce Banner who made all his little weapons for him. And so the show goes on. Again, it ran pretty much concurrently, didn't it?
Yeah. Spider-Man came out September 12th, 81 and ran to 83. This came out September 18th, 82 and ran to 83. So
Yeah.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends got a season longer,
Yeah.
but they did run once Hulk started, they did run at the same time and finished around about the same time as well. So yeah. But yeah, I liked it. It was like you said, it was campy, it was cheesy, and for a double bill, first thing in the morning, every morning before I went to school, Spider-Man and Hulk.
Mm.
You know, for a budding comic book nerd that I was back then, it was very much like this is my morning coffee.
Yeah.
You know, this is what wakes me up in the morning. It's Spidey and Hulk doing what Spidey and Hulk freaking do.
Well, to be fair, these two were both my gateway drug into the world of comics.
Yeah.
If it weren't for those, I wouldn't be the geek I am today.
Same here. My next pick is also the one that really kind of made me go,
Mm.
But yeah, that was. We'll get onto that one in a minute.
But I was going to watch an episode of this today for research
purposes. Yeah.
and a bit of entertainment. And of course, onto the Disney Plus I went because I'd seen it was on there, and of course now it's not on there.
The one from the 90s is. I know the one from the 90s is on.
The one from the 90s, yeah. The one from the 80s isn't.
That's a shame.
It's there you go. That can be the thumbnail for the episode.
There you go. big thing in the middle. Disney.
So that was my choice as well. So back to you again.
Back to me again, right? I'm gonna fuck it. We'll get this one out of the way because this one it was a definite without any of a shadow doubt. We were both going to pick this one. X-Men.
X-Men 92, X-Men TAS.
X-Men 92, yeah. As it's now retroactively known as.
Mm.
Which kind of bugs me a little bit.
Well, I was referred to it as X-Men TAS.
All right. But like people with Batman call Batman the Animated Series BTAS.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this came out October 31st, so Halloween, 1992, and ran till September 20th, 97, hence why the new series is called X-Men 97.
Yes. Yes. Once again, I picked this as well. Yep.
We've talked about this. We talked to the
writers.
We had them on for an episode. We are
check the archives, folks.
Yeah, check the archives. It was season 2. We are hoping after X-Men 97 has finished its run, we've got 2 more weeks on it.
Mm.
I'm going to drop an email to them and see if they'd like to come back on the show and talk about the impact that the new show has had compared to the old show has. Not that we want to rival them up. We want to sort of like see where their original ideas for the stories that they did in the original series, how they've connected over into the new series. That's personally what I'd love to get their thoughts on.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we can say about X-Men because we've said it all before when it comes to X-Men.
We have. Jesus Christ, it's one of the best ever.
And the fact that X-Men 97 is doing absolute roaring success right now gives me a bit of hope.
Mm.
But we'll get more into that, why it gives me a bit of hope later. We'll get a little bit more into that one. Right. Go on, you pick one now, because I've done like 3 in a row.
Yeah, but you've picked everyone I've picked so far, including X-Men 3092. Yeah. So we're going to go for one that I don't think you will have picked.
Go on then.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yes, that was a Marvel Studio cartoon. Yes.
Was.
Didn't pick that one. Oh, you sly bugger. I stuck to Marvel comic book cartoons. I didn't think of the animation studio. You loophole slipping bastard. Oh, you should be a lawyer.
If it's Marvel Studios, you must have quit.
Fucking clever.
Hey, OJ. Hey. Ooh. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, that's got it. I've got
Can't say that.
it.
You know?
So I fucking like he's dead.
Yeah, right. So Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, I did watch this when I was growing up.
Yes.
Absolutely loved it. I even knew back then that there might have been something a bit different about me because I wanted to be the one with the red hair and the pink hood. So I'm saying when we were running around on the playground, I always ended up being that one, and I wasn't complaining.
There you go.
Wasn't complaining.
This was a cool show. It was obviously it does what it says on the tin.
Mm-hmm. It's
Bunch
people
of
from
kids.
the real world end up in the board game.
Yeah, bunch of kids go on the Dungeons and Dragons ride and then magically get transported into the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm. Which again, Hasbro have actually started doing action figures of those original animated series characters.
Yes, they have.
So if you're a big Dungeons and Dragons fan, if you love the original series, go and check those figures out. I'm tempted when I see them on sale. I'm like, I'm not a huge Dungeons and Dragons fangirl, but being a collector, I can appreciate a good action figure, and these look like good action figures, good representations of the characters from the show. So
yeah.
I'm tempted. If I see them at a good price, I might pick a couple up, like I do with the G.I. Joe figures I started collecting. I only get them if I see them for a good price.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to pay 60, 70 quid for a new one just because it's got a cool bike. You know, sorry, tangent.
Tangent indeed. But yes, so the kids, you know, they get transported to the world of Dungeons and Dragons, end up in different clothes. Ooh, weird. But get given magical powers and abilities.
Yeah.
To help them defend themselves against the likes of Venger and Tiamat, the six-headed dragon.
Oh, yes, which is a big character in the game.
Yes, and they're guided by Dungeon Master, who's a little elf and a bit of a smartass. And
the Dungeon Master
does somewhat gaslight them throughout the whole.
He fucking does. If you break it down, that series, the Dungeon Master's a bit of a dick.
Yeah, he's gaslighting motherfucker. So yeah, it is worth a look though, because it's got a lot of cheesy event.
Oh, it really has.
Drugs. It's got a lot of the same background music and incidental music that a lot of those 80s animations shared, and they're brilliant bits of music.
Yeah, the theme tune alone.
No, never mind the feature, the stuff, the action music. No,
oh no, but I meant like along with the music, like the theme tune alone gets you from the minute you start watching it. Just that theme tune alone, the music is like we say a lot of the times on this show. Like sometimes the music tells more of the story than the words do.
It does.
It's one of those shows that really does use that. Some of the like when it's panning across like the scenery and setting up where this episode's taking place. Some of the artistry on that for a kids TV show in the mid 80s was beautifully freaking done. It's like the matte paintings you see from oh god, what's it? Frank Frazetta, the Frazetta stuff. It reminds me of that, some of it.
Yeah, go with that. And unfortunately, if you were hoping to complete the series, it never happened. It got cancelled.
Ends on a cliffhanger, doesn't it?
Yeah, before the last episode aired.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Bring it back, Disney. You won't got the rights to it. Bring it back.
I don't know if they do have the rights to it at the moment, actually. I don't know who owns the rights because it's not currently streaming.
I'm not sure either, you know.
I think you'd have, if you wanted to see this, I think you would have to get like a DVD set.
It may be available on YouTube because I've been finding recently there's a lot of old 80s cartoons that are being uploaded to YouTube. So it may be available on YouTube. It's worth a check.
Yeah,
Maybe
could be.
check after
Could be
this
worth
episode.
it. There you go. Go do that. That's your homework, folks.
So that moves on to my next choice then.
Oh, my light's gone off. Shit. You haven't got 50p for the meter.
Guys, just run out of electric, everyone.
I can't find my thing.
Welcome to Tory Britain.
God, blimey, we're struggling over here. Oh, no, what am I going to do?
Blind yourself, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Hello.
Right, moving on to my next choice then.
Just to show you it's live, folks. There you go.
Yeah.
Your
And
choice, Ken.
we'll keep the mistakes in. Take a note from Tony. We're just going to keep the mistakes in from now.
Yeah, fuck it, I don't care.
But right, my next choice, you're going to fucking hate this one.
Hold on, I'm just going to tick off that. That's done.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. I best mark off the ones I've done.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, now my pen's not working.
God.
I'm having a bad time tonight.
Right, my next choice, and I know you hate this one because you mentioned it last week, but I kind of liked it because for me, it was the first introduction to these characters, okay?
Mm.
The Fantastic Four. He just turned his light off again.
That's it. I'm not turning my life off. No, I'm not taking this.
Not participating now. Oops. This cartoon ran from September 24th, 1994
I'm flashing now, look.
to February 24th, 1996. So it actually got a good 2-year run out of it. So it's not as bad as you think it might be, Guy. I will agree with you. I will agree with you. That intro is dated so badly.
Oh my lord.
But the storytelling, the stuff they do with Galactus and the Silver Surfer and the Puppet Master, it is good storytelling. It's just not on par with the rest of the shows we've already mentioned. It's good, but it came out at that time when Marvel were just cartoon. Like every kind of little thing was getting adapted. And it kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
I didn't like this as much as I liked other ones, but if I was sat watching Fox Kids and it was like, up next, Fantastic Four, I'd be like, oh, all right, I'll watch this.
Yeah, because usually it got lumped in with Iron Man, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was Fantastic Four, then Iron Man, so I waited around for Iron Man and had to suffer Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think over here it was known as the Marvel Hour of Power.
No, it was the Marvel Action Hour.
That was it. I was thinking there was another thing that was the Marvel Power Hour or something like that.
You had an hour of power the other day.
Anyway, yeah, so not a fantastic show, but not a shit one either. Worth checking out if you're a completionist and you want to skip the intro every time. Go for it. Right?
Oh, yeah, there is the intro skip, isn't there?
Yes, exactly. So back in the day, you had to endure it, but nowadays there's that skip button. Sorry, that's freaking Facebook again. Right. Your next choice then, Mr. Random Man.
Right then, we're going back to the 80s once again. Defenders of the Earth.
Yes.
Defenders of the Earth.
The Phantom, Flash Gordon. What was the magician's name? Oh,
Mandrake.
Mandrake the Magnificent, wasn't it?
No, Mandrake the Magician.
That one, right. But yeah.
And his assistant, Lothar.
Yes. And they were going up against Ming the Merciless.
They were indeed.
Yes, I do remember this. NECA have actually produced a range of action figures based on these characters, and I don't own any, but I have seen them, and they do look show accurate. They're in show accurate colors. They look like they've literally, like, if you got all of them and put them on a display, it would look like that intro card where they're all stood there. It really does. They are excellent figures.
This was a good show because it took heroes that were already established, teamed them up, and
Yeah.
made new stories out of that. So for me, that's fucking great.
Basically, the Avengers before the Avengers were popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tea time action, baby. Tea time action.
It's like, what team of heroes can you put together when you don't have the rights for Marvel or DC? Well,
Yeah. Right then. Well, we'll get Marvel Studios to make it.
exactly. But again, it ties into that Marvel animation at the time in sort of the mid 80s through to about the early 2000s. They had this animation style that was just it was gorgeous to look at, and it was like the comic book.
Yeah.
But it had enough realness to it that it separated itself. It stood apart from the comic books because it looked slightly real, but not quite. Like,
but
go on.
No, it's good. It actually deals well. I think it's not pandering to kids.
No.
It's just that kind of here's some action. Boom.
Yeah.
Great bloody intro.
Yeah, I was gonna say another great theme tune as well. Can't complain at that.
Defender, stop you. Yeah. Not currently streaming, I don't think. Yeah.
Again, check YouTube.
I know there's 65 episodes.
Yeah, it lasted a while. It lasted.
It's like,
yeah. It was a popular show. It was popular.
65 episodes. That's that for a
for an animated show back then, that was nothing to be sniffed at.
So there you go. So that's
no 80s joke there by saying sniff that.
Yeah.
All right,
sniff that.
On to my next choice then.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned it a minute ago, and yes, I did put it with it purposefully. The Iron Man cartoon.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that intro music. I don't know what it is. It's just the whole, as he's clanging it down and it's doing the I am Iron Man thing. That just, there's something about watching it at that right period of time where I was getting into music as much as I was getting into everything else. And that just struck a chord with me. That theme she kind of drew me towards bands like Black Sabbath with their song Iron Man, because it carries some of those little beats to it. Yeah, I loved the Iron Man show. Again, like the Fantastic Four show, it was a bit cheesy. It was Iron Man fighting random characters like the dragons, Fing Fang Foom, going up against Ming. Yeah, you know, a possible crossover for the future from there from Disney, maybe.
But yeah, it was good. It was better than Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Oh, JB trivia once again. Who did the voice of James Rhodes / War Machine?
Oh.
It was Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince.
That was it, yes, because he also did Shredder. Turtles, yes.
Yes.
Do you remember that? James McAvery.
Yeah.
Oh, no, James Avery. Sorry, is it James Avery?
James Avery, I think, yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah. Much love, much missed. Brilliant actor. That episode of Fresh Prince where Will's dad shows up.
Uncle Phil's kicking ass.
Yeah. That's when I fell in love with that show, when I saw that episode. I liked the show up to that point.
Yeah.
When I saw that episode, I just fell in love with the character of Uncle Phil because it's like he's not a hard ass for the sake of being a hard ass. You know, he's trying to push Will towards his potential.
That's it.
But yeah, so that was my pick. Iron Man.
Cool.
Great,
Iron Man.
worth the watch. Love the music.
Yeah, I'd say it's worth a watch. The only thing I didn't like was Tony Stark's bullet.
Oh, the one thing that bugged me as well is in one episode his dad shows up and it literally they use the same animation model. They just put grey streaks in his hair.
Yeah.
It's like They look identical. It's meant to be
Yeah,
his
come
dad.
on. Lazy drawing.
Yes. Moving on to your next pick then.
Right. So there's not many left actually.
I've got
Ah,
1, 2, 3. I got 4 left.
I've got 1, 2, 3 left because you pinched all mine.
Do you want me to do another one of mine then?
Yes.
Okay, right. We'll go with this. We talked about the original one from the 80s. We're going to talk about this one. It is The Incredible Hulk from the 90s.
Hmm?
Yes, this one aired from.
Hold on.
Have you got that one?
You fucking done me again.
Oh dear. Right. Well, this aired from September 8th, 96 to November 23rd, 97. So it got a good year out of it. I do own part of the season. I think it's season 2 I own on DVD. But the weird thing is, sorry, I got hair in my face. The weird thing is it's labeled as She-Hulk, as the She-Hulk cartoon. But it's the second season of the Incredible Hulk cartoon. It wasn't until it came onto Disney Plus that I saw that the second season was actually labeled as The Incredible Hulk and She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why that DVD was released under the She-Hulk banner.
Yeah.
No pun
they tried
intended
to
there with the
backdoor
name.
pilot it.
Yeah. But I did watch them a while ago, and they are much like the other animated shows of that time. The animation is fucking top notch. And Lou Ferrigno back doing the voice of the Hulk. And you also had cameos from the likes of Iron Man, Ghost Rider,
Sasquatch.
Yes, Sasquatch. Ghost Rider was originally supposed to. It didn't really go off very well, but from the Hulk show trivia time, the Ghost Rider that appeared in that was supposed to get its own spin-off series. Toy Biz produced a crap ton of figures for it. It didn't get past the second episode. I just dropped my pen.
In disgust. You drop your pen in disgust.
A little bit. But yeah, it didn't get past the second episode. Unfortunately, I think the character like Ghost Rider, though, was a bit mature for the audience they were trying to aim it at.
Yeah.
Because it deals with like hell and damnation and making dodgy deals. And
well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's your problem.
It's a bit much for a young audience. Nowadays, it would probably fly. It would probably do quite well.
Yeah.
Back then, in the mid-90s.
Yeah. Oh, can't do that. Can't do that.
The restrictions that, I mean, we talked about, going back again, we talked to the Lowells about some of the restrictions they had on X-Men.
Yeah.
Like that one punch where Wolverine punches Cyclops in the gut in episode 1. They had to fight tooth and nail to allow that. And that was a punch. That was a punch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so they had a lot of restrictions. It wouldn't have flown back then. Nowadays, maybe. But the whole, it was good.
I tell you what I really enjoyed about that show was, all right, they set off the gamma bomb, which of course fucks the Hulk up. But it also, fucks Bruce Banner up. But it also fucked up all the insects as well. They all got Hulkified. I loved that. I think that was a really cool twist.
Oh, what is it they called them? The Outcasts? It was like different bugs merged together, like a scorpion with bat wings and shit like that. I did like that idea of it, and I think pause here for a moment, tangent alert. I think that if Disney and Marvel are going to go back to doing a Hulk film, I think they should take a leaf out of that animated series and show the not just the aftermath of what happened with the gamma bomb that turned him into the Hulk in the freaking first place, but I think they should go with what did it do to the rest of the world? What did it affect in that immediate area? What is the consequences of that happened X amount of years ago? Because then you can bring in She-Hulk as well and tie everything together in part of the MCU and tell a new, really good, really interesting Hulk story. Because essentially, Bruce Banner and his gamma radiation work didn't just ruin his life, ruined a lot of fucking lives.
Yeah,
I think that's something they need to explore.
yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be
Humanize
a
the
Hulk
Hulk.
film.
Pardon?
I don't think there's going to be a solo Hulk film.
I don't think there would be. If they did, though, I'd love them to see him try and adapt some of the stuff from the comic, more from the comic books and more from the show into
Yeah.
the storyline and humanize the Hulk, because for the last 5-10 years within the MCU, Hulk has sort of become almost a running gag.
Yeah.
You know, like the bit in Thor Ragnarok, jumps out the ship and splats on the bridge and then turns into the Hulk. It's
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'd like to see him do something like that. Maybe She-Hulk season 2.
Yeah.
I'd like to
That-
see them do something with that, with the storyline set up from that animated series.
Definitely.
Yeah, but there we go then. So I skipped a big one and went to the Incredible Hulk, but I ended up with one of your picks anyway.
You get.
Right, go on then. Your next one.
Right. Before you bloody get in there, Spider-Man. 90s.
That was the one I skipped.
Spider-Man TS. He's man. He's man. Now.
Yes, I love the Spider-Man original animated series, and I do actually own. I mean, I could pause this and go and fetch them, but I might just do some picture inserts. I do actually have some of the more modern Hasbro retro carded releases because they're on the purple and black cards. Those original, they're on the same card backs the original Toy Biz ones were released on. And when you see them, it's just a proper nostalgia pull because it's like, I remember seeing these when I was small, and yeah. But yeah, Spider-Man the animated series, it holds such a place in my heart. This and X-Men were the two big shows.
They were the cornerstone.
Got me hooked on anything Marvel. I mean, these guys are my bread and butter. Spider-Man, X-Men, they are my go-to characters when it comes to Marvel.
Yeah, and they are the voices I hear when I read the comics.
Same. We'll address this now. I was going to save it till the end of the episode, but we'll address this now because we talked about a lot of these shows from the same time. And a lot of them, X-Men and Spider-Man specifically, were very interconnected.
Yep.
A lot of people say it was sort of the prototype MCU because you had like Captain America and people like that show up in it. And Iron Man, who had his own cartoon, the Fantastic Four, they had their own cartoon. So all of these
X-Men end up in it.
Yeah. So all these cartoons technically are set within the same universe. Yeah. So now that X-Men 97 has blown up, taken the world by storm, no pun intended, does this now mean, and I hope to the Disney gods, I will make any blood sacrifice they ask for, does this mean that we might possibly see a Spider-Man 97, a Hulk 97, Iron Man 97?
I would like that. Especially, no, what I want is the last season of Spider-Man, because that didn't get made. It was cancelled, and they had plans.
This is what I was thinking about a couple of days ago when we were sort of brewing the ideas up for this. I was like, if they did do, this is just my pitch. This is my pitch to Disney for Spider-Man 97, if you want to call it that. You literally pick up from the moment that last episode of that original series finished.
Yeah.
Pick up, do like you did with X-Men, do a two-parter, do one long episode, split it into two parts. So like they did with X-Men 97, they did episode 1 and 2 together. Have it pick up there, have him find Mary Jane in the first episode. In the second episode, they get back to New York, but it's been several years. They've been missing for several years. Spider-Man has been missing for several years. Kind of make the time jump make sense, right? In that time, Kingpin and his crime syndicate now run New York. But everything looks perfect and shiny and nice and everything. So it's like, much like in the Spider-Man Insomniac games, where Spider-Man comes in, he gets Kingpin arrested, and then all hell breaks loose because he's not there to keep it under control. That could be the jumping point for a new series. He comes back,
Yeah.
sees that everything's fine, but not quite fine. Goes up against Kingpin, and you could have it be the return of the Insidious Six as the series goes on. Kingpin pulls in all these favors, and you can bring back old favorites like Scorpion, Shocker, Doc Ock, Electro. You can bring back all these fan favorites from the original series and do a new storyline in it. But please do not. This is the big thing for me. Do not make it a Spider-Verse thing. Please.
No.
We've seen that several times now. We've got the 2 films and No Way Home. We don't need any more Spider-Verse stuff. Keep this a self-contained universe. Bring Spider-Man back to where he belongs and have him fight crime in that city, because that's what the original series was about.
Yeah, but I want the original voice cast.
Yes.
And I want John Semper Jr. in charge of it.
Yes. I fully agree with all of that. Fully agree. Right. I've got 2 more choices. Shall we get through them?
Yes, let's do that.
Right. My next choice, because we just talked about Spider-Man, the follow-up series that really fell flat for a lot of people, Spider-Man Unlimited. It was supposed to be a continuation. It was supposed to be a sequel series, much like Extreme Ghostbusters was supposed to be a sequel series to the real Ghostbusters. I kind of like this one because it took the series in a very new direction. It introduced me to the High Evolutionary and his brand of crossbreeding people with animals and all that kind of stuff, which they did bring up in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So when that character popped up, I already knew who he was. So I was ahead of the curve on that one. But it's an okay series. The only thing I don't like about it is the way it treated Venom and Carnage. It basically turned it into Cletus Cassidy. I was going to say Brock Lesnar, but it's not Brock Lesnar, is it? It's Eddie Brock.
It's Eddie Brock. What's Brock Lesnar doing there?
And Eddie Brock. It basically treats them as they don't have any control over the symbiotes once they're on them. It's the symbiotes themselves that are in control, and they're 2 separate personalities. And I was like, that's even in the original animated series, you made it very clear that it was the melding of the 2.
Yeah.
They were trapped inside. No.
It's symbiote.
Yeah. And they ended it on a cliffhanger where Venom and Carnage had made it so that if their suits were ever removed from their hosts again, a symbiote bomb would go off and coat the entire planet in symbiote. And I was like, it's a bit doomsday, isn't it? It's okay. It's worth a watch. The animation style is really good. And the costume for Spider-Man is pretty cool because it's a pre-nanotech suit where he's got different functions. Like you can go invisible and all sorts of stuff. And it's got a prerequisite in the timeline order to the Miguel O'Hara web cape thing.
Yeah.
It's a decent enough show. If you've never seen it, it is at least worth a watch. But the fact that it ends on a cliffhanger is kind of like,
I don't think I'll bother.
It's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. But yeah, Spider-Man Unlimited.
You're not selling it.
Do you have any more?
Yes, I do.
We're both on our last one now then.
Right. Then we're heading back to the 80s for a one-off. Only one, unfortunately. It was a proposed pilot that didn't get made.
I know where you're going with this.
We're talking X-Men, Pride of the X-Men.
Yes, with Australian Wolverine for some
With
reason.
Australian Wolverine, but
Why?
in the brown suit.
I will give it props to that. I will give it props to that he's in the brown costume. I can give it props for that. But an Australian Canadian, it just
Okay.
didn't sit right with me. And Colossus was in it from the beginning in his proper costume.
Yeah, shonky voice work aside, it was bloody good.
Yeah.
Ahead
of its time, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, ahead of its time. It didn't get picked up and made. It did in Japan, apparently.
Apparently, never seen it. But I've seen the actual clip for the Pride of the X-Men, but I've not seen that.
Yeah, there's a Japanese X-Men show.
Oh, right, cool. They have to look into that.
But yeah, so basically, yeah, it's Kitty Pryde joining the X-Men,
Yeah,
and of course, chaos ensues as it always does. But hey, everyone works out in the end, folks.
yeah, yeah. And plus, if it wasn't for Pride of the X-Men, we wouldn't have had the X-Men 92.
We wouldn't actually know.
So we got to thank
Cause,
that.
well, no, we got to thank as well Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends because there was X-Men guest spots in that.
Yes, there was a couple in that. Yeah, yes. And wasn't
So,
Wolverine Australian in those as well?
I think he was actually, yeah. So let's see. This is where the problem.
They tried to sell that hard, didn't they?
They did, yeah,
Don't make him sound Australian. Why? Because we said so.
yeah. And then weirdly enough, you get an Australian actor portraying him in the movies. But
I know. Weird how that works, isn't it?
strange, but true. But no, this is worth hunting down. You're probably looking at YouTube for this, folks.
Yeah, yeah. YouTube's where I saw it.
So check it out.
Yes. So that leads us on to my final choice then. Sticking with the whole X-Men theme, there's a theme running here, isn't there?
There is a thing.
This one, it's kind of a tragic tale because it only got one season, but upon watching it, it should have got more. I am talking Wolverine and the X-Men from 2009. It ran from January 23rd to November 29th. It didn't even get a year out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have heard of it.
I've got volume 1 on DVD. Now, the thing that gets me about it is it's not trying to be a sequel to X-Men 92. It's not. If anything, and this is a big stretch, it's more closer related to X-Men Evolution. It's not a follow-on or a readaptation of it. It's got a lot of the same voice work. It's got a lot of the same kind of story beats. But the basic premise of this is one day at the X Mansion, there's a psychic explosion. Wipes out most of the mansion. They think pretty much everyone's dead. And Charles Xavier is now in a coma. Beast and Logan stick around to maintain the stasis and everything that's keeping Charles alive and just to monitor things. But all of a sudden, Wolverine starts getting visions from Charles from the future, where in the future, Charles has woken up from his stasis. The world's fucked. Right. Rule the world, and he's teamed up with a few remaining mutants to try and figure out what went wrong. So it tells two concurrent stories. One in the future with what's going on with Charles, and one in the past where Wolverine and the X-Men, where the title of the show comes from, is he's basically trying to bring back as many of the surviving members as he can, including new members. And he's trying to stop the apocalypse. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Right.
Now, the thing about this show is it does tell a very good story. It's a little bit wobbly here and there because of the time travel. Well, not time travel stuff, but stuff happening in the future and in the past concurrently. It gets a little bit confusing at times. But it's one of those tragic shows that at the time, we've talked about this last episode, it didn't do the numbers the studio wanted it to do. So they cancelled it. And for me, next to Cal Dodd, Steve Bloom doing the voice of Wolverine in this show is one of the selling points for me. He does do a very good Wolverine. In fact, he's done Wolverine in a lot of the video game adaptations. Wherever Wolverine's with voice lines in a video game, it's usually Steve Bloom that's done it.
All right. Okay.
So I'd say him and Cal Dodd for me are those two
Yeah.
incarnations of Wolverine are the voices I hear when I think of that character. But it's worth checking out. If you've never seen it, honestly, I sing its praises. It's worth watching.
Is it streaming anywhere?
I don't know if it's on Disney Plus because
Hmm.
I think it was a Fox co-production with another company. And I don't know if the rights for that transferred over when Disney bought Fox. I'm not
Right.
not 100% certain on that. I think it's split between Fox and Sony
Right. Okay.
because it was 2009, so the X-Men films would have been in full swing at that point.
Hmm.
So I'm not 100% sure. And plus, that's the other downside to it is it come out in amongst the films where, unfortunately, Wolverine saturation was starting to happen.
Yeah.
You know, he was in all the comic books, he was in all the films, he was in all the shows and the games and stuff at the time. So it's like a little bit of Wolverine fatigue, but you take it as its own thing now. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
There you go. That's Wolverine and the X-Men.
There we go. Check them out, folks. So that was it. That was our
That's
picks.
our list. That's our list of Marvel cartoons. That is it for our mid-season finale.
I was going to break that news, so there you go. You know, never mind. Who's hosting here? Was it?
Sorry. I'm ahead of myself.
Benny Boss comes back, starts walking all over me. Fuck's sake.
What can I say? I always come too soon.
Yeah, well, so I heard.
Same, honey. Same.
Mm. So yeah, as the boss was saying, folks, we're gonna be taking a break for a month.
Yes, about a month. Yeah, it's a short little break, not our usual 2 months off. I was actually talking to Sue about this earlier that when we used to do our 15 episode run back to back, round about this point, sort of episode 9 or 10, we were starting to feel the burn and the fatigue. Like,
yeah,
we just need to get through these last 3 episodes, and then we got a big break. So what we decided to do was we'll do 10 episodes, take a month break. We'll be back at the end of that month. We'll do another 10 episodes, and then we take a 2-month break, which is our end of
summer.
Season. Yeah, it'd be midsummer for us by the time we take a next break. And that brings us back into September when we can start talking about all the lovely Christmassy shit that'll be coming our way very soon. And we'll have that classic debate again about Die Hard.
No, we won't. We're not having that debate again.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
No, we won't.
We will.
No.
Yeah.
So there'll be a guest. There'll be a guest host with
September
Cali.
till December.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So there you go, folks. This has been part 1 of season 4. We've loved it. We hope you have.
yes,
And we'll be back. Please leave more comments down there.
Yes, the comments kind of keep us going. It gives us stuff to talk about at the start of an episode. We love, as much as I complain sometimes about like the length of the comments, honestly, it gives us stuff to talk about. It sparks little things and we can tangent off of those.
Well, I wouldn't have thought you'd be complaining about length, but there you go.
Not length, it's width. Remember that. But anyway, yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's watched all 10 episodes up to now. Thank you to everyone that has commented, that has supported the show all through each of the seasons, not just this season, but from when we first started. You keep commenting, we'll keep recording. It's what we do.
Yeah.
But should we give them some highlights of what to look forward to later in the season? Some subject teaser? No, we don't want to tickle the taint.
Nothing.
I want to tickle the taint. No.
Oh, go on then.
Oh,
no, you want to.
Well, coming up in episode 11, we are going to take a look at the Master of Macabre, Clive Barker.
Indeed.
Not just Hellraiser. We are going to take a look at the guy behind Hellraiser. So, there we go. That's it then. Oh, and of course,
that's how we teasing them with.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just the tip. Just
all right.
But one thing I will say as well is in the interim month where we're going to be resting, keep an eye out for the new show, Violet's Collectibles Review, coming very soon.
Yes.
Starting with this gorgeous action figure right here. It's my Elvira.
Oh. I thought Braun should have been first, personally, but there you
Well, you got to have beauty before you have brawn.
go. But yeah, so there we go, folks. That will do it for us. I have been the random man with a plan.
I have been that bitch, Callista Valentine.
There you go. And she'll be back next season, folks.
Will I, though? Hey, maybe I'm a one and done kind of girl. What can I say?
Oh, I see about
Good night, everyone. Mwah.
that. Got it.
Cut.
Thanks. See you.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Victory is mine.